might notice I'm a little bit different, but I am still your loyal fam, Iglesias Com. And I am here to talk to you about something so unholy you wouldn't even guess it. No. Doki Doki Panic. No. Doki Doki Panic. Doki Doki no Panic. Doki Panic no Panic Super Mario Brothers 2. I've heard of this. If you call yourself a gamer, and especially if you call yourself a Nintendo gamer, you know what Doki Doki Panic is. And if you don't, idiot, let me fill you in on a point or two, baby. Doki Doki Panic was a game made in Japan. You've heard of that place, yes? It was made by a little-known man named Shigeru Whoops, I Did It Again Miyamoto. Originally released on the Famicom Disk System, Doki Doki Panic was, well, it was okay. It saw relatively decent sales in Japan. But back in America, Nintendo was scrambling. They wanted to continue the success of the newfound love for Super Mario Land and... No, wait. What? They wanted to continue the success of their newfound love of Super Mario Brothers. The only issue was that Shigeru Miyamoto guy, you know him, I talked about him a second ago. Well, he was a total jackass. And he decided to make the game hard. Super hard. So, Nintendo had a decision to make. Release a game that was so hard and it would potentially alienate all of their presumed to be idiotic American neighbors, or release a brand new game. You know what they did? They did neither. Like the smarty pants that they were, and the fact that there was no intranets at the time, Noah decided to release a slightly remolded version of Doki Doki Panic, skinned as Mario. To, guess who? Their American audience. Doesn't end there. After the success of Doki Doki Mario Panic 2, in North America, they decided to re-release the game back in Japan as Super Mario Bros. USA. Well, I suppose you might want to see the game that you know is a game that you know was based off of. What? And here it is. Doki Doki no Panic. Doki Doki Panic. No Panic Doki. Oh, right. Alright, I already did this bit. Well, as you could see, the narrative of Doki Doki is significantly different to that of Mario's. The backstory of Super Mario Bros. 2 was based on around Mario's dreams, and the story was related solely in text, and there was, well, really nothing too horrible about it. But clearly, this story starts by showing you two presumably innocent children getting taken away by a mysterious green hand. I wonder who that could be. And the heroes are magically appear to save the day, and you must insert side B. Well, and then there is the game. As you may be able to tell, the character select screen is different in Doki Doki for two main reasons. One is the layout, and secondly, and most importantly, are the characters that are laid out there. Instead of Mario, Luigi, Peach, and Toad, we get the, forgive me for the pronunciation, Yume Kojo family. The characters all look very different from each other, and like Super Mario Bros. 2, each character has a special control scheme. The aesthetics in the game are slightly different from Super Mario Bros. 2, and the enemies are mostly identical, with slight color changes, but, well, we'll get to the big change in a minute. For now, take a look at this I mean, the Shy Guys are the same. Oh, but take a look at this potion. I mean, magic lamp, so you can get the mushroom. I mean, the heart? Well, oh, and take a listen to this music as well. How Arabic, and I'm kind of putting that in quotes, it kind of sounds. Each character controls like one of their Mario counterparts, but with slight variations. For example, the guy right here is the Mario guy. He walks at a regular speed and jumps at a regular height. The difference is the traction. When he stops, and that's it. Mario's trademark is his slight slip when walking, which is just completely lacking here. Oh, did you hear before, by the way, how I said that he was walking, and then he just stopped in his tracks? It said something like that, right? I'm pretty sure. Anyway, my point here is that he really was walking and not running. Why? Because there's no run button in this game. Yep, that's right. Correct Mundo, John-Luc Picardo, Goku Piccolo, and yes, there's only one speed in the game. It seems really silly to say, but I like to pretend that when I'm pressing the B button, he's still kind of running, but just so fast it just looks no different. I know. And here is Peach, or Pink Girl. I'm sure they have names, but I've never actually been able to figure out exactly what they were, mostly because I have a lack of interest in searching up Wikipedia, or really just using Google, in a sense. It's not that I'm not inept to use it, I just don't like to. Anyway, again, she jumps very similar to Peach, although the mechanic is slightly different, and again, there was no traction. This is probably my favorite character to talk about. This is the Luigi counterpart, or she actually looks more like a witch here. Just like Luigi, she jumps very high, but instead of getting that feeling like she's wriggling, she doesn't move, and you can't control her. Here is the Toad variant, which incidentally looks the most like Mario out of all four of the playable characters. It's a little bit weird. I'd actually kind of like to see in a game like this if they would have some NPCs that you could meet in the game. Although again, this is what Super Mario Bros. 2 was a direct clone of, so you would have had to see NPCs in Super Mario Bros. 2. Anyway, my point is I think having Mario characters in this game, while it wasn't a Mario game, would have been a cool idea. Anyway, the boss fights are probably the most noticeable difference between the two games. Not because the boss fights are any different, actually. The funny thing is the boss fights are exactly the same, with absolutely no difference. But because you have these slight gameplay mechanics that have been tweaked, the boss fights actually seem significantly more challenging. Anyway, I kind of suck at these anyway, so try not to pay attention to this. That's really all I have to tell you about Doki Doki Panic. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was sort of informative and enlightening, and feel free to like and subscribe if you liked what you saw.